Live? No, not yet. I'm looking for the button. Oh, there you are. Hi, everybody. Welcome. This is CLCI, and it's another week for us to do lives. Woohoo! I don't know how I'm introducing things anymore. This month in January, we have been talking goal setting, and last week we did when to use why. It's actually going to come in handy a little bit today, too. Today, we're going to talk about brainstorming your goals. A lot of people might come in and not know where to start, and we're going to sort of walk through that. I'm going to hand it over to Jerome to get everybody introduced, and thank you for watching. Make sure you comment and share and like and all that good stuff. We're here and we're monitoring. Jerome.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another Tuesday Live here at 4 with us at CLCI. We are going to continue on the month's theme of goal setting. Today, we're going to be able to go ahead and spend some time brainstorming. We actually have an exercise, just as we've been doing the last few lives we've been going and streaming with you guys. So we are excited to get into that. But for now, without getting into too much detail, because we'll have plenty of time for that in just a minute, we're going to go ahead and let our guest introduce himself, and then we'll go ahead and let Lisa introduce herself as well. So first off, go ahead, Evan, if you have a second, and let everyone know who you are.
Hi everyone. I've never been on live before, so I don't know how many of you are watching. So my name is Evan. I just finished my level 1 coaching session, and I am excited to be here today. Thank you.
We are very excited to have you with us today. And we will go ahead and let Lisa, the owner of CLCI, introduce herself as well.
Hi, Evan. Welcome. I know I'm supposed to introduce myself, but I'd like to know a little more. Did you come up with a target market, a niche that you're going to be working towards as a coach?
I am still working on that. I'm trying to narrow it down. But mostly young professionals who are struggling with their, resolutions or new habits. So I want them to have, uh, I want to help them with some sort of a system that works so that they can keep their habits going.
I love
And,
it. It's going to work really well with the tool Brooke worked on. And so sharing that will be amazing. Thank you for being here. I am Lisa. I'm CLCI. I love our team, our family, our connections. Thank you for being here. Is Brooke ready to come back?
Brooke is ready to go. I was going to mention, yeah, that's.
Oh, and we have to check in with Jerome.
Say again?
Yeah, we haven't. How's your balance going? We have to talk about balance.
Actually, guys, it's been really good.
Oh, that's what I like to hear.
I know I spoke about putting down balance at the top of my to-do list, which if you're unfamiliar, anyone watching can stop by on our last couple lives, fill yourselves in. Instead of writing that, I have started writing, it's okay that you're not completely balanced. It's the pursuit and effort that matter most, which has really been, I think I just got a little too into my head about achieving balance rather than the pursuit of it, which again, I think is more important than the actual end result sometimes. So it's been good.
It's the process, right?
Except the fact that, COVID still makes it a little difficult for the whole social part, but you know what? It's okay. We're getting through it.
By the way, Bianca Stevens, hello, and same with Ernest Washington, and Anthony is here as well. Hi, everybody.
Let me check in with Jerome real quick. Yeah. I'm really enjoying hearing about your reconnecting on what that priority is for you and allowing yourself that the space, if something else becomes important in that moment, you've given yourself some grace to accept that and enjoy the process versus being dictated by the process.
Yeah.
I think that's what I kind of heard. Is that right?
That's absolutely what you heard. It kind of, for me, where I kind of had the realization I was being a little kind of tough on the whole idea of me connecting to that word balance. I was really committed to that. We use it as an alternative to New Year's resolutions, and it seemed to be pretty much winding out for me the same way that a New Year's resolution would be. I was upset at myself because I wasn't exactly where, you know, I was hoping to be, but I think I reworked it. I was kind to myself. I realized it's not necessarily exactly going to be 100% where you would want to be all the time. But again, I reworded it, reworked it, and I'm embodying it now, and I feel a whole lot better than I did last week. So
Nice. Congratulations.
thank
Is
you
there
guys.
something that we should pursue with you in that regard to follow up with? Or does that feel, where are you with that?
I am, again, I feel like I'm in just a pretty blissful state with the pursuit of balance. I'm not going to say that I'm 100% balanced, but I'm at least I'm on the train towards where I'd like to be. And of course, I would love for you guys to check in. We don't have to do it every live, but
Oh no, we're doing it every live. You bet. You bet. It's happening.
I'm not close to that either. We can do that.
Whether you like it or not, we're checking in.
And so sometimes when we're in a coaching session, I'm just going to bring this around. Sometimes we're in a coaching session and we finish early, and that's a good thing. Leaving on a high note in a coaching session and being less time than what normally is perfectly acceptable. I would pursue more with Jerome because we just got started if this were a full coaching session, but just keep that in mind. There's times that a particular goal has met its criteria for the moment that it needs to be tapped in later. And so being that it was so quick, we could then venture into another direction if that's what allowed for the coaching session. Okay, thank you for sharing. As always, Jerome.
Okay, so we're gonna get going with yes, every live, Jerome, Anthony. So we're gonna get going with this goal exploring exercise. The link is in the chat if you guys want to follow along. We're not gonna do that completely as it is, but if you want that, that's a great resource you can have. It's basically something that if you're a coach and you're going to go out and coach, you can use in your practice. We'll actually be putting a Word document of it up in there as well here shortly. But for now, you can have the PDF and you can follow along if you wish. So we're talking about brainstorming today. And there's a lot of kind of mixed feelings about brainstorming. Some people say it's not effective. Some people say it is. But this is more about personal brainstorming than it is about groups of people brainstorming. Mind you, all the things we're doing here can be applied in a group as well, though. So the way we're going to mix it up a little bit differently so that way it's entertaining for you guys out there. So, but brainstorming, as everybody knows, is everybody coming together and trying to come up with solutions. And sometimes when clients come in, they aren't exactly sure what their goals are, right? Or maybe they have 5 or 10 or something, or they just, you know, there's a number of things, and these exercises can be used for that, for just sort of exploring maybe parts of yourselves that you didn't know about or think about. So it's a stream of consciousness thing, which means we would typically ask everybody to have a pen and paper and just to write. But instead, you guys are just going to yell it at me. And I'm going to write it down. But so the first step, though, is we're going to ask a question that everybody can answer. And the question, I'm going to set a timer, and maybe we all take turns for this. And I want you to keep answering this question. Just keep answering the question, even if it feels awkward, even if you feel like you have already answered it. Dig deeper. Think of something silly. Think of something ridiculous. Whatever comes in your head, put it out there. And we're gonna do this, and it's gonna seem like for an inordinately long time. So what we'll do is you guys can start writing, and then I'll have you share, and we can just take turns sharing. Does that work? So with stream of consciousness, you just want to keep writing and keep writing and keep writing, and no matter what comes in your head, you write it down. You don't scratch it out, you don't erase it, you don't think about it again, you just get it out and write. So here's our first question for everybody. Are you ready? And I'll do it too, even though I don't have paper. I can write on this. All right, the first question is, who are you? And I feel like the caterpillar from Alice in Wonderland. Who are you? So just start writing those down, and we'll just keep going. It doesn't matter, right? But I'm gonna sort of check in with you and ask you to tell me what some of your answers are. I'll give you guys about 30 seconds, then I'll start to check in. And you guys, while I'm talking to somebody, keep writing the other two. So Jerome, you're always first. You'll be our first one.
Am I going?
Yeah, do you have one? I know I didn't give you 30 seconds.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm
okay, so tell me who you are. And yeah.
Keep going?
Yeah, just tell me.
Okay.
Tell me.
I am Jerome. I am Jerome Jr. I am a son. I am a brother. I am thankful. I am grateful. I am happy. I am creative. I am explorative. I am I am lost.
It's okay, there's no wrong answers. There's no wrong answers here.
A little bit exhausted of answers.
That's okay.
I am thinking. I am shifting. I am hungry a little bit. I am enjoying this nice cold water. I'm excited for the rest of the stream. I'm going to let Brooke say what she has to say.
I'm going to give you a break, and I'm going to let Lisa go.
So far, I am mom, I'm a grandmother, a wife, a business owner. I am loved by my family. I enjoy connection. I am level-headed. I am thoughtful. I am part of this team. I am excited for our growth. I'm nervous for our growth too. I am patient. I am quiet. I am optimistic. I am hungry.
Everybody's hungry, me too.
Well, I got family making. I'm changing the subject. I got family making some really great food in the kitchen. We're having a what do you call it? Crab boil.
Oh, fun! Yum, yum.
Anyway,
so okay, and we're gonna go now. Now, Evan, are you ready? Share who you are.
Sure. I am Evan Kim. I'm actually reading what I wrote.
Mm-hmm. That's okay.
Okay, right, okay. I am a husband. I am a man. I am from South Korea. I am a mechanical engineer, and I am a plumbing engineer. Do I have to start with I am?
No, you don't have to.
So, okay.
There's no rules.
Sure. So with enough experiences, I want to be able to say that I am a life coach. I am nervous. I am doing something that I would never do. I am definitely outside my comfort zone. I'm not liking it. I am liking it. Yeah, that's it for me.
And thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing. I am enjoying your answers, all of them. I'm enjoying learning about you guys. And I guess I could do my I ams. I didn't join in you. I am Brooke. It's interesting that we all start with our names, right? I am an artist. I am a creative. I am a coach, an entrepreneur. I am a friend. I am curious. I am easily excited. I am kind. I am someone who cares about other people and thinks of them. And I am also very independent, and I am getting a phone call.
Where's that music coming from? It sounded pretty good.
Like it.
That's why, no, I changed my ringtone so that it was like mellower so that I don't get all stressed out.
You end up hating it.
Yeah. So this, and I can keep going. I can keep going. I never shut up. I babble. I am. I don't know what my comfort zone is.
One of the things I want to acknowledge that we're doing is keeping it in the positive statements. We didn't say what we weren't.
Mhm.
So keep going into the I ams. This is who I am. You can use your own words, like Evan was asking. Do I have to say I am? No, you can create that change. It can have a artistic flow to it, but in the positive.
And what this is doing, though, is connecting yourself with before we go into the next step. There's a reason for this. Lisa, though, and I were talking earlier, and you mentioned a moment you had with a student, and I thought this was a very cool thing. Go ahead. Yeah, share.
So one of the things that we were discussing, this is a long time ago, is that there was a suggestion that the student couldn't get out of negative self-talk. And we did the streamline of consciousness concept. And then what? And then what can you tell yourself? And then where can you go with this? And then keep that dialogue going to yourself about yourself and what's important and what do you need to take from there and where. So with ever so slight instances where I prompted her, she then started sharing an uplifting direction. She didn't even recognize that she had a positive now. She had switched the whole class. I looked at as soon as she did that, the first one was just a slight elevation. Everybody in the class started smiling because they recognized that if you just let somebody go, there's at some point they're going to start wanting to hear something good about ourselves. So from that point, that's when we can encourage our clients to elevate. There's times that they're not ready to do that. So in that case, it was very successful. She was ready to be an open student in that participating authentically. Now, somebody who doesn't want to participate authentically, of course, can challenge that and they could make it happen. But if your client is ready in that space, that like this writing that we're doing, in that streamline of consciousness, and let them just keep going. And at some point, it just has this natural, we all get tired of hearing ourselves. I get tired of hearing myself whine. So, and at some point it turns around to that elevation where it gets a different perspective attached, and then encouraging the student to go on from there.
So now that we've talked about who we are, the next step is to sort of address what we have been talking about this whole month, and that is goal setting. So this time I want you guys to just throw it out there, and we will keep track of them. So we can go around a circle, what have you. But I want, on the sheet, I asked for you to come up with 50 goals, 50, which is a lot. But there's a reason. You want it to be that many because, which we'll do less on this, but the reason being because you want to get ridiculous. You want to get wild. You want to get wacky. You want to get out of the box. You want to explore those things that you are otherwise afraid to explore, or afraid to put out there, or you've talked yourself out of, or you've had a block about, or you just don't think it's possible. So in this instance, you have in this, it's a perfect world situation. You have the means, you have the capability. There's nothing standing in your way. Think about when you were a kid. Think about when you're older, retired, when you are the age you are now. Every possible goal you could possibly imagine that you want to achieve in your life, essentially. So this is the second question, which is sort of goal related. So what do you want to do in your life? And we can just go, and I'll say until everybody has 10 in the group. And Jerome, say your first one.
Okay. A goal of mine, big one right now, is hoping to connect more. That's a big one. Keep going, right?
You know, if you want, we can go around the circle. I can go to Lisa, and then we can just keep going. Lisa, what's one of your goals?
Oh, as I'm writing them, I kind of just moved one to the top that replaced another one.
Well,
It's
doesn't
actually
matter.
finding
I'm putting them in order right now. This is stream of consciousness.
to do the things I want to do.
Take the time to do the things you want to do. Okay. Yeah. And then next up we have Evan.
I want to be able to lift heavier.
Nice. Nice. I want to make time to write, work out, and meditate every day.
I would like to become proficient in Adobe Illustrator, which is a program.
I am in full support.
Nice.
Lisa.
I want to go hiking.
Nice. Evan.
I also want to go hiking and meditate. Is that 2 goals?
That's okay. Well, it can be. I gave 3 in the last one then, so I get to skip this round. I want to build a successful production company that is able to sustain itself. There we go.
I would like to subscribe to a gym.
Lisa.
I would like to go camping next year.
Nice. And Evan.
I would like to go traveling.
I would like to, I'd like to take a vacation. That'd be nice. I'd be just anywhere. No particular destination. Jerome.
I want a little fur buddy. I don't know dog or cat yet, but it definitely, I would, yeah, it's a goal.
I'm all for it. Always for fur buddies. Lisa.
I would like to find time for connecting family and friends.
Evan.
I would like to run faster.
I would like to complete my mini series that I'm writing.
I would like to begin drawing again.
Lisa.
Is it me or Evan? I don't
Lisa.
I have an idea for a book that I also want to get started on.
Evan.
I recently bought a Muay Thai kickback, but I need to install it, and I want to install that.
Oh, that reminds me. There's something else I want to do. You know what I was thinking as we were going through this, and I'm just going to share. As we were sharing, we were thinking about the things that I have not done yet. But I was sitting here thinking, I'm going, well, I want to get our team coaching course, up and out and done. But in my head, I thought, well, that's going to happen. I don't have to put that on this list. So it's almost like with the goals that I'm listing things that I am not necessarily, and this is just for me, invested in happening anytime soon, because I'm not listing the ones that I know that are inevitable. I found myself doing. Which is interesting, which is scary to me on some level.
Yeah, that's not what I was doing. I was
I think it was just in that one instance, because I thought to myself, well, I don't really have to, that's not a goal, because it's not this thing that's out here, because that's just going to happen. I just know it can work and it's got to happen. There's no other choice. However, having a plan for it would be a good thing, and getting the ball rolling with getting it out would be awesome, which I'm excited about. But I was just thinking, what?
I was going to say, I think just speaking it out loud here.
Oh yeah, and there's something about that too. There is a power in speaking it into the world and speaking it into existence.
And then also around us with the sense of accountability, maybe.
Oh yeah, with the accountability partners right here, the check-ins. So we named quite a few goals there, and we did all of that. The next step on this would be then, which is kind of hard to follow along, but would be then to look at that list. And you're going to just pick, for the sake of this, let's pick 2 or 3. We'll say 3 goals. 3. And then what you would do next is then look in your life and think about those three goals. In what areas do they benefit? How do they benefit you if you did them and accomplish them? How would you feel better about your family? Would you feel better about your physical being? Would you feel better about your environment? There's a tool called the life wheel that sort of breaks down your life into a whole bunch of pie slices. And so would any of those sections improve after completing this goal? And then from there, you're going to pick the one that basically would give you the most benefit, I would say, or that you feel would give you the most benefit. And that's how you decide which goal to proceed with from that, which is a pretty cool tool. And then step 3 was Jerome's favorite step, right? Was the step 3 on the thing?
Oh, yes.
What was step 3? I've got to remember.
The love to do, loath to
Oh, yes, that one. I love that one.
Can you share the screen or?
Yeah, I can share the screen. I'm going to share it right now. So then we're going to go to, once you pick the one goal. So after going through all that, do you guys have your goals? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen really quick. Oh, I can't share my
Oh,
screen.
let me help you out there.
What?
Let me help you out. There you go.
We're going to pick the one goal. And the one other thing too is we want to connect it to you, the person. So I'm going to take this back to our first stream of consciousness part of this as well. So everybody share what your one goal is.
finding time.
Yeah.
What's yours, Jerome?
I have 3 of them and they're all pretty.
They're even. Okay, well, that's okay. We can. So let's work through that. So
Okay.
they're evenly have of even importance to you, correct?
It's funny because when I was picking them, I didn't realize till right at the end that they represent each of the 3 parts of my life. Each one individually separates something individually that make up the 3 parts of my life that I care about most. Which,
Could you share the 3 things, the 3 goals? Yeah.
Of course. So one of them was to become proficient at Adobe Illustrator, which is a work-related thing. Also creative too. I love working. And drawing, I want to get back to drawing. That is something personal to me, something that fills me up. I've got to stop being so tough on myself because sometimes I'll draw. I've tried to get back to it. And then I told myself, oh, this is disgusting. What are you doing, man? And and then I'll tell myself I should have never stopped when I was a kid. But I do want to get back to it. And again, just be kinder to myself. And then connecting with people who I miss and who I haven't been able to kind of, not just necessarily going out and, socializing with them, but just a simple, hey, how are you doing? Check in from people that I haven't really heard much of, really, honestly, since the old COVID epidemic has come down.
And so in what ways of your life would getting more proficient in Illustrator, I mean, will it help you? In what areas of your life will improve when you get more proficient in Illustrator?
Specifically, I can say right off the bat, it would speed the ability that I work at, which allows for me to get even more things done. So that is a direct result of me becoming proficient with Adobe Illustrator. I think that's a really good reason to want to get better at it.
And what happens when you have more time? I mean, what happens when what can happen when you have more time, I should say?
I'll have more time to be able to figure out things that I'm not necessarily having my mind on with staying in the realm of work. Sometimes things come up and I'm like, I want to do that. And then it becomes a little difficult to get to because there are certain things. And just for people a little curious about why Adobe Illustrator is so important, that's it's a big part of when we do editing with videos and stuff like that here at CLCI. So takes a little bit of time, and not only am I just looking to flash through it faster, I want to get better at it. So we have compelling content that we're putting out, and that just is also something that's self-fulfilling to me. I try and do my best and try and give my all. And I know I can do that when I understand completely the inner workings of this program. And
what Jerome is not sharing with you is he also has me harping on him to be like, you have to learn Illustrator, which is I appreciate. And I don't think we had a couple lessons, he and I, in it, but it is an amazing tool. You know what you can so what can you do in Illustrator? This is designer speak for a second. That you can draw in Illustrator. Right?
You can do everything in Illustrator, which is where I would like to be.
This thing right here, I draw directly on it. So it's both drawing and getting more proficient in Illustrator. I'm just saying, you could marry the two.
Yeah.
But just to say, if you learned that, you said it would bring you more time. If you had more time.
I think when I say time, I think it'll give me the ability to be a little bit more clear on what I'd like to do next, rather than having in the back of my mind a task that I understand, needs to be accomplished, should progress towards being accomplished. I have more time to freely think about in which other areas I can grow, which is important. So not necessarily time to do things, but more time to think, and again, to be clear on which direction I would like to go and proceed in.
I'm just to play devil's advocate. If you have more time, you can put anything in that time. I mean, right? You can fill it with whatever you wish. You can fill it with thinking. You can fill it with organizing. You can fill it with connecting with people. But if it exists, it just is. There is more of it, right?
I absolutely agree. Which overall, just maybe I was saying keep it in the realm of the work area of my life, but definitely frees up time for the other parts of my life too, as well, with achieving this goal. So that's just really awesome to really think about.
So we spent a lot of time on it. Is that the goal you want to work on?
I have been working on the goal, definitely. I've been working on learning hotkeys, which is just a faster way of moving about the program. And
I love hotkeys.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna get into designer speak and get lost in the world. We're gonna
lose everybody.
Lisa, what is your goal?
So finding time. So I put so that I could feel more connected, friends and family. I have all this art stuff. The wannabe artist in me wants to start exploring it, but I do work instead. So it's really about that time and recreating it, I guess.
Which is funny because we've got a theme going, and I'll address it in a second. But Evan.
So out of 5, I want to be able to lift. Lifting heavy is one of the most important goals for me, because I think the physical strength, I don't know, at some point in my life I will need it. For example, I go on a hike with my wife and she gets injured. I have to carry her down. I do have to, I think those times will come when I have to just, hang off a high wall off the building or something for a long time. It's just in terms of endurance wise. So I'm like banking on that. I do work out every day or every other day. So it is going, but I'm not really making big progresses. And sometimes I get injured, which is frustrating. But just want to be able to lift heavier.
I'm always doing non-coaching things, but so what I want to do now though is take these goals that we've all shared, right? And first thing we asked you was who you are, right? Who are you? So thinking about this goal and who you are, does this goal support who you are? Does it support you in that capacity?
Yes.
Lisa looked like,
Yeah, I mean, it supports all things. I mean, because it kind of goes back to Jerome's word, balance.
mhm.
It will create a different energy and flux and flow in different places that need it.
So real quick, and then Evan, how does this, I didn't forget about you. How is your, how does this goal, or does it support who you are, as we shared in the first exercise?
I'm not really seeing relations right now. For some
Well,
reason, I don't know.
when you shared who you were, what were the first few things you shared of who you were?
My name, where I was from, my role, oh, my job, and what I want to do are mostly my emotions. Yeah, I didn't really mention anything that's related to weightlifting.
I agree, but you did when you were just sharing right now. You mentioned the times that you might use that skill, right? That you might use the ability to lift heavier. What were those moments where you could use that ability to lift heavier?
No, I guess my as a husband, I think as I mentioned before, then yeah, I might have to carry my wife
Mhm.
down the hike.
Mhm.
Yeah, there is a connection.
Mhm. Um, is there any other connections like that that you see, or anything? If you and if the answer is no, it's okay.
Well, well, actually, there's one. Actually, no, never mind. Yeah, it's not.
Oh, wait, no, share. Please share.
No, no, actually, it's not. It's
Okay.
not. It's not connection. Yeah.
But we did connect to that husband role, right? Which is important to you, and probably very important to you, I would imagine, right? That was what came forward with me when you were sharing about lifting more. I was like, oh,
I love that story.
how sweet. Um, uh, so that's just important for you to take a moment and make that connection, just so that you see that emotional relevance, why that goal is important to you. Also, what is an interesting thing to notice, like you guys were sharing with the time thing, both you two have time, and really all of this breaks down to time at the end of the day, right? Finding the time to make your goals, and time is a commodity that is not, it's finite, right? It is limited, and so it is a very very valuable thing. And that takes me to marketing, which is, if you mention time in your marketing, this is a marketing hack, your sales will go up, because people know that and they value time more than money. So it's just a little thing that you can do, and it's sort of demonstrated in this. Why? Because we're always looking for the time to find the time to get the things done that we want to get done. And that really, so looking at all your goals and all of this, what are the first steps? And this is the fun part that this is Jerome's favorite part. So think about what the steps are, that first steps that you would have to take to basically make this goal happen. And I'm going to pull this up over here and share my screen. And then you're going to break it down into this part here. So what are the first steps, and what do you love to do? Well, okay, we'll just go over the chart first. It goes into two columns: love to do, loath to do, loath to do, loath to do. And then needs to happen now and can happen later. is the other one. So the reason that it's broken down like this, it's a little like oh, I can't remember the name of it, the better to-do list a little bit. So this basically helps you break down what the steps are. So you're going to write in what about this goal do I love to do? What are the next steps that I love to do? And what has to happen now? And you'll put that in the first box. And then in the next one, what do you loathe to do, but it still has to get done? And you put that in the second box, the delegate box. And then the next one would be can happen later, which is the do next box, and then the can happen later, delegate next box. And that basically shows you how to break down what the steps are. So do you guys, does somebody want to do that? No, finding time. That's
Yeah, I gotta find time to find time.
gotta find time to find time to find time.
I have to think a little more about this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. And so if that's okay, right? To have to think about what the steps are. The first step is really discovering and exploring what that goal is and how it's going to work. And then you can start to then take that time to figure out, okay, now I'm going to figure out what has to happen to make this goal happen. And that can be another stream of consciousness exercise where you sit down and you just start to write out all of the things that need to happen for that to happen. Which is important, right? That's, I think that, well, we could maybe demonstrate it at some point, but we say all the time we want to, but this sort of starts to distill it down to a process of how to do that.
So I could say one of the things of finding time, it's not the love to do, but I have to create the timeline of what I have to do. And then some of the things that I have to do doesn't have a timeline. It's random infiltration. And so how do I create finding time when I have to still consider the random infiltration of things?
Tell me
what that thought process is for me for that.
Tell me more about the random infiltration.
Just work related things that pop in that have to be accomplished in that moment. It's not something that can be put off. I'm just looking at the word delegate. Can I delegate it?
Yeah, it's another way to start thinking about it. Is because maybe, and that's something as a business owner that's difficult, especially because for me, even everything I do, it's difficult to go, wait, but I could just delegate that. And that's like a whole second muscle to develop, is that, okay, setting stuff aside so that, but what can you delegate? And that's what this little box is really there to help you do, is to start to think, okay, I don't have to do it all myself, right? I don't have to, if I want to make time for this, what can I delegate? And that's where that do next to, and what's the difference between has to happen, is there a fire right now?
Yeah.
Or is it something that can happen later? And that's when using that do next.
I think this is also good because a lot of the times we, like Jerome, you were saying earlier, we get caught up in our head and it feels more weighty than it does. And it takes more time to take all that angst around it than to actually get started on something. So this, I think, is going to be beneficial for that.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. I think the process that we've been going through about really just letting it out, even if it sounds silly or a little awkward, going through this process, regardless of which direction it goes in, is getting something done, and really allowing your mind again to kind of not overthink, to allow it to honor your mind and to let it do what it does when you're thinking about a particular item or action. And I think where we're at with this exercise is something that can be not just beneficial in goal setting, but beneficial with just really deciding to do anything throughout, anything that you kind of sit around and it doesn't necessarily have to be a large goal, but I mean, sometimes, we like when it comes to eating, sometimes we don't know exactly what we want to eat. But
the word comes to me is freedom.
Yes, there you go. Exactly.
Yeah, freedom. Well, that was the basis of this. That's what, when we started, this is a perfect scenario situation where anything is possible. When we talked about this, there's nothing standing in your way. And this is in many ways meant to help remove those sort of blocks and those I can'ts and those I don't know how to's and those, and start to create a clearer vision of those moments. Evan, for you, looking at that, what are your first few steps to start?
The very first step that I need to take is stick to a program. The second step would be in more, I guess, in healthier and in more protein to build more muscles. This third step, I don't know what I would need to delegate in terms of.
So I'm going to ask you one question though. Has there anything prevented you from doing these items on your list up to date?
Not really. I just lose focus during the workout because every break that I get, I go on my phone. So, well, I'm trying to, I guess, like I try to multitask during the workout. So those breaks while I'm recovering, I go on my phone. And I end up watching more than 2-3 minutes. And that's how just workout just it gets delayed and then yeah.
So what can you do to prevent that from happening?
Just put the phone away.
If you have the phone, put the phone in your hand.
Mm-hmm.
For real, put the phone in your hand.
Oh, right now?
Yeah. So what is it that you need to tell yourself in that moment when you're choosing you and what you want? What's important about doing that task?
I need to focus and I don't need the phone at the moment, I guess.
Okay, so you need to focus. You don't need the phone at the moment. Now put the phone down. What in this space do you have to help yourself through to not pick up the phone?
I would have to just leave this out of my sight.
Okay. So if it's out of your sight, you put the phone aside, what are you doing instead?
Getting back to my workout.
And how do you feel about getting back to your workout?
More efficient and more focused.
What is that going to do for you, being more efficient and more focused?
That is gonna be a more successful workout.
Keep going.
And I think I will be able to break more sweat. And I think that's gonna feel greater. And I can finish the workout in time or faster.
So for it to be more efficient, faster, you're feeling the energy of the sweat coming off of you because you know you're putting in the effort and the focus. Where are you going to know if that's what works?
Where am I gonna know? Where?
Yeah.
Just the muscles that I work out.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
So you shared earlier about hiking and how you can interact with your wife.
Mhm.
How are you feeling being able to, if you're envisioning that you are working out, you're feeling the sweat, you're feeling effective, you're feeling the muscle build. You said, I'll feel it in my muscle. How is that making your, what are we calling this exercise? The exercise come to life for you. The brain exploring. I'm looking for another word for it. How does that explode for you?
How does that explode for me? I'm not so sure.
I'm going to ask. Wait, go ahead. I want to sort of circle back to really quick our last week, and I just want to ask you 2 questions really quick.
Yeah.
So if you were working out, if you set your phone down, if you're sweating, if you are having a more effective and efficient workout, what do you get from that?
I guess more motivation.
And what happens when you're more motivated?
I want to be able to, well, I think I'll have to be able, I think I will be able to give it a full closure and then move on to whatever I need to get done.
So what is, and what does moving on to whatever you need to get done do for you?
Just the feeling that I had a good workout, positive feeling, more satisfied with the workout. And I think I will feel that I am on track to lifting heavier.
And then feeling like you're on track, what does that do for you? What does that get you?
That I am accomplishing something, a sense of accomplishment.
And when, what is a sense of accomplishment? What does that get for you? What does that do for you? What does that get you?
That I am growing and improving, which is pretty valuable to my life.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. I think that was the moment, right? There's that emotional connection to it, that goal of it, right? So learning and growing for you is probably one of your core values, I would say, right? Very important to you. Evan, yes, no?
Yeah, I just got a cold chill. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I like to say that life is growth.
Mm-hmm.
You grow or you die. So
Mm-hmm.
learning and growing, that's just that's something that's default to me. So yeah.
So imagine in your mind's eye that story that you just shared, the importance of it and where it took you is to find growth. Imagine that. And if you wouldn't mind sharing a little bit of that story of how it pulls together for you.
So in the process, I didn't know where I was going when I was being asked questions, and I could have gave up, and I don't know and I don't maybe I felt like I had to give up something but then I kept thinking and searching, and I think there were some, like Brooke said, core reasons, core values that I was able to finally get to. And then that actually did resonate with me. And I was able to just more confidently say that learning and growing and improving is important in my life.
I want to take a moment, like Lisa had, grab your phone for me. And I want you to imagine you're at the gym, and grab that phone if you can. And I want you to take a moment and think about the importance of growth, and think about how the process of lifting heavier and going through this and doing it and accomplishing this is related to that. And I want you to think about that moment when you're doing your in-between, right? You've just lifted, you're taking your break, that 2 to 3 minute thing. And take a moment, just think about what it means to you to feel that learning and that accomplishment. And then put your phone down and share with me what you will do instead in that 2 or 3 minutes. Because you still got to cool down for a minute, right? So
yes. I'll try to stay focused. Just the recovery, the break itself is also part of the workout, but then I don't want to dwell on that and go on my phone. So yeah, less of distraction on my phone is something that I know that I needed during my workout.
what can you do instead?
Maybe, yeah. Oh, actually, I thought of something. I would try to breathe and focus on recovering faster. I don't know if that works. Maybe I need to do some research. But as soon as I feel like I'm gaining my strength back, I can get back into my reps and my sets.
Amazing. I mean, and maybe that's what your homework is between now and your next workout, is to figure out things that you can do in that 2 to 3 minute span that would help benefit you even more in that time. At least I know breathing is great. It's great for your health. It really, I mean, obviously, but there's a whole science behind it as well. So we are about through on our time though, so we're gonna have to finish up and say goodbye to everybody, unfortunately.
Yeah.
There's also one more piece to it. It's understanding what he's doing what you're doing, Evan, in that moment when you pick up the phone and make the choice to go on whatever you're going on. What is that serving for you? And understanding what that serves for you can also help you to potentially find other things that serve you better.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to wrap up today. Thank you guys so much for watching. It is already past 5. So we'll be back next week for our last week of goal setting, which will be fun. And thank you so much for being here, Evan. Evan, tell people how they can find you if you are out there coaching. And I know you are a life coach. You have graduated our level 1. So if give people your name and maybe a way they can find you out there in the world, and then we'll be done. So
yes, my name's Evan, and it's gonna be hard for you to find me at the moment. Well, I'll probably be out there when you need me.
I like it. I
Well,
like
yeah.
it.
Thanks.
Thank you, Evan, so much
Thanks,
for being
Evan.
here and
I-
letting us coach you through some things and practice
not
our new
easy.
tool. We're so honored you were here and participating.
And I know you were out of your comfort zone, so thank you for
Yeah.
being willing to open up and do that with us. We appreciate that very much, very, very
Thank
much
you.
so. And
Excited.
Jerome, you always get it, so we're always doing
Yeah.
it to you. You
Yeah, we're not sorry. Forget about that.
Excited to hopefully see you on level 2 too, Evan.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. We'll do.
Level 2 is awesome. But thank you guys for watching. We're all done here. Share, comment, and like, and all that good stuff. And we'll be back next week.
CertifiedLifeCoachInstitute.com. Thank you.
Yeah, we're
All right.
at.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.